Hello, and welcome to Film Slam Stream's post-film conversation for Native Ball, Legacy of a Trailblazer. My name is Eric Siler, and I'm an instructor of film, media arts, communications, as well as moderator for this conversation. We are very pleased to be joined by the main subject of the film, Malia Kipp. Malia is joining us from Montana. Hello, Malia, and welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
It's such a pleasure having you. I feel like I should be asking for your autograph. Want to take a selfie with you. You're a celebrity, a local celebrity. Did you feel that way when you were going through your basketball career?
I had appreciation, the people that came and supported me, and it was, through the documentary, it was a kind of a difficult journey, you know, and but I had a lot of support and people that were gunning for me, supporting me, pushing me forward, saying, "Don't listen to those guys over there. Do your thing," you know. So a celebrity, yeah, well, you saw the documentary. You saw all those little
Exactly.
kiddos that would come and ask for my autograph
I
and stuff.
know.
So
That's great. It's so special. And Megan, who directed this, and co-directed this with Jonathan Cipidi.
mhm.
Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Megan. And did you ask Megan to do this, or did she ask you to do this documentary? Tell us about how it came together.
Well, she did a documentary on our coach because Megan was a freshman when I was a senior. And so that's where I met her. But our coach that retired, Robin Selvig, she did a documentary called The House That Rob Built. And and then after that, she she wanted to talk to me a little bit more about my journey because she didn't realize after because she interviewed a bunch of different players and stuff uh what our struggles were, and that's where I think it in transpired. And I still um want to state that everybody has a story to tell. you know Everybody struggles, everybody goes through things, and the fact that Megan wanted to tell my story and that she did it in such a awesome, uh, a really good way.
And
So that's how it that's how it happened.
and she
She
did.
she came to me.
And she did. And I guess your life prepared you for this documentary, the attention you received and so forth. So you were just so natural about, telling the story, and you and Megan working hand in hand to get out a lot of information. And speaking of information, there's so much to delve into. But in the documentary, what stood out to you the most? Was it the struggle? Was it your basketball career? What's the one thing that really appreciated people knowing about you?
um that's a good question. um you know just do what makes you happy. And you're gonna always have those people. I went to school and people would ask me, why are you going to what are you going to school for? And I'm like, to play basketball. I my I just wanted to, and then what it exposed me to were different options, and I knew I always wanted to do something with the medical field. But the opportunity that gave me by doing something that I was passionate about, and that's what people need to, I think, that's and and the honor that we give each other. I mean, I yeah, do what you're passionate about, whether it's until someone walks every day in your shoes, do they get to judge you or tell you what you need to do? And so I that's what I, just being a good person too was the other thing.
Okay, that's a really good information to give to anyone who's watching this, especially our younger people as well, too. So in regards, do you still live on the reservation? Tell us a little bit about your life now. I know you're working as a geriatric nurse. Are you coaching? Tell us a little bit about what you're doing now.
I currently I'm not living on the Blackfeet Reservation. I'm living on the Salish and Kootenai Reservation. That's where my kiddos are enrolled and where I've been living, for the last um few years. But I always go back to Browning. I always go back and visit my mom and dad. I was always um but coaching, yeah, my kids. Anybody who wants to listen to me. But and then it's the neighborhood kids too that come over. We have basketball court outside and just whatever. My little guy he's 6 years old. My oldest is 25. So I've been having, I said I've had kids for like 20 years, but um anyways, it's been wonderful. I mean, anyone could complain about something in their life, right? But my kids are healthy, happy, and safe. And that's how all our kids should feel, you know? So
Well,
let's try to,
well, that's good. That's really good that you're able to pass on your life experience, not just your basketball talents, onto your children as well too. So let's talk specifically about the film and your career and so forth. That it was just people who are watching this, many of them may not be familiar with the state of Montana and and so forth, but it is a very vast state in which, like you was indicated, it takes a couple hours to get to the nearest Walmart for where you grew up, and basketball is what you had to do, and you focus upon that. Your father helping you with that. What made you excel at basketball as opposed to the other girls around you?
um, all my cousins were boys. And so if I wanted to play or participate, I had to step up. And so that was that. And then just watching my dad, and then Browning always had good basketball teams and good players and um Roma. And that's just kind of where we always everybody played ball. But I think it was, my older cousins and boys making ooh, those guys.
So,
But
so
yeah,
did you spend more time on the court than they did, or the other people did? What made you so talented?
my dad taught me a lot of stuff. He stated that, he brought me to his city league and but he also showed me old school moves, and that defense wins games, and just all those things. I don't know, it's just something that I just really enjoyed. I can't even really put a pin in it, to tell you the truth. It just was something that my you know I was the oldest. That's something that I had fun doing with my dad, and it just transpired into what happened, you know.
Exactly. So when did you recognize that you were pretty good? It's like, I can compete with these boys and dominate over a lot of the girls. When did you realize that you were good and you say to yourself, I'm gonna do this for a long time?
Um, oh, I was pretty young, actually. Um, that picture in that film where I'm standing in the middle and I'm wearing the yellow uniform, and I'm the youngest on the team, and I'm a starter. And my coach believed in me, and and uh and I knew it. I knew it right then, because I would school up my cousins. I would, those boys. I had one that was always would beat me though. It would just make me mad. But anyway, it's something I strive for.
Interesting. Let's talk a little bit something about something a little more sensitive now. Um, Basketball as a sport is supposed to be unifying, a team sport, but you were recognized as a Native American basketball player, and we brought the element of race involved. Uh,
Mhm.
when did that become prevalent to you, in which you were a Native American basketball player, and how did that affect you? You just want to be a basketball player. Is that correct?
Yes. And so no, as soon as I was being recruited, and it wasn't just from Missoula, it was other colleges and stuff. And but even before my high school days were over, like the pressure that everybody was already putting on me, like this is what you need to do, this is how you need to represent us, etc., etc. And having to leave, my community, go somewhere place that I was like, I mean, not that I didn't go to their basketball camps, but to just be away from family, the community, because I always look forward to coming home, to seeing people that knew me, that didn't judge me, didn't look at me sideways, didn't, have that. I could walk into our town pump and someone would say a joke and we would all get it, And so that sort of thing. I never was judged back home. And leaving, you know, there was multiple times that happened. But I mean, I don't know if I'm going off the subject a little
No,
bit,
no,
but
no, this is very helpful information. Continue. Mhm.
yeah. So no, so that's yeah, that was, I don't know how I did it. No, because I had people supporting me too. It wasn't just that people were just rotten to me. That wasn't it. But there was those that always, being a person of
Is is
you know,
that, was there a game? Do you remember a game in which you were tested, in which you knew that maybe they were trying to double team you or give you a hard foul because you were a Native American? Do you remember a specific game or?
um oh, there's no, I don't, you know, I don't know. I just thought, ball is ball. Like native ball is really rough compared to, you know, NCAA actually. And
Mhm.
so, but there was a time that we were playing against Bozeman, and that's the other university in Montana, and it was always a big rivalry. And I remember the gal's name, I think it was Bauer, but she was their top player, and I had to guard her, and she was like, but anyway, we ended up getting a double like technical because she was elbowing me and acting like I couldn't compete with her, and I was like, oh, I could. I was the shortest center in the Big Sky for a couple years. So I don't know. I always took pride in my defense, but I also didn't let anybody like cheap shot me either. So
Okay, you were tough. You held your own. You had to, on the court and off the court too.
yeah, yes.
Off the without mentioning any names, you mentioned in the film about the professor who indicated that you shouldn't study medicine and so forth. Have you ever had any fruitful conversation with that professor, based on your success now?
No, I don't even know if I would recognize him. I don't know what he's doing right now, but that's why I'd say I'd like to introduce myself now, you know, and that's one thing I want to always let people know. Like, there's always gonna be those people like, don't listen. Like, I listened to him for a minute and I questioned myself, and then I just followed my heart, and no one gets to tell you what you should and shouldn't do until they walk every day in your shoes. They don't get to. No.
Right.
So, I mean,
Exactly.
as a mom, I get to tell my kids what to do. No, I'm just kidding. But
Of course, of course. Senior day. Tell us about that. I'm sure it was emotional, or what was that like, senior day, in college?
well, um, like I stated, I was like, what, you know, and I want to share a story. Um, one of the gals, the first gal I hugged, her name is Carla Beatty, and my freshman year, my coach Rob said, everybody picked their shooting partners for the year. And, so I'm a new player, native, don't feel like I fit in. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to be picked last. And then how that would, and Carla grabbed me before that even happened. And that random, like, she made a difference in my success by just doing that to me, for me. I wasn't picked last. And then we just kept being shooting partners all the way through our career and ended up being seniors together. So those little things that people can do to change someone's, I mean, that was just, you wouldn't even think that that would make a difference in someone's success. But her doing that for me, she was the difference. So,
And that's remarkable. And I'm sure you've been the difference for a lot of people. And you may never know just by the fact that you're stepping onto the court and agreeing to do a documentary. So I applaud you, for that. Uh, so did you ever, one question before we start wrapping up, did you ever have any aspirations of playing in the WNBA?
I missed it by a year. Yes,
Oh,
yes, I did. It was the year after I graduated, they started, and then a teammate of mine, Greta Koss, she ended up playing. But yeah, I wanted to. And just so
it,
anyway, I just played in 3-on-3s and things like that, and coached at SKC, Siler Kootenai College for 8 years, was and assistant coach. And my girls, my oldest, Lilu, she I was her coach for 3-on-3s, and you know, yeah. Um,
So, the
yeah.
final question I have for you is on your children. I know you coached them. Did you feel any pressure of trying to continue the legacy, what your father passed on to you? Were you trying to instill basketball into them, or did you just want them to become the best version of themselves?
The best version of themselves, whatever makes them happy. I've never, my dad never pushed basketball on me. It was just something that I enjoyed doing. I have my oldest was Lee. She is really very athletic and actually walked on with the Grizz. Um, McKenna, she picked up basketball, but her passion is drama, choir, and speech and debate. And then Jada, she's still trying to figure it out. And then my youngest, Levi, he's well, he's 6, but whatever they want to do that makes them happy, I'm not, and then I'll help them get there.
Great, great. It's just wonderful. It's just great talking to you. Well, I know I said those last questions. One more question I just want to ask is, besides this documentary, has there been anything else to commemorate the success and what you've overcome, besides this documentary, a plaque, a statue, a street named after you, or
No, after I think like I'm gonna get a lot of attention after this is released, officially. And just the fact that our elders are on that film, and people are gonna see them and remember them and remember what they did for them, and hopefully, just kind of remember what how important our elders are to us, because they raised us and they need, we need to take care of them as well. And so anyway, that's
Absolutely. And I thank you so much for joining us, for talking to us about, your life, and, your story is still being written. Hopefully there might be, more information to come out about your life and whatever you choose to do. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me. And it was nice having a conversation with you as well.
I thank you. And thank you to our audience for joining us for this important and invigorating conversation. For more information about upcoming film festivals, please visit us at clevelandfilm.org. I'm Eric Siler. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Have a good day.